Happy Monday, everyone. Here we are. Let's get this going. Let's get Ricky and myself. Here we are. Oh, let's reverse this again. A. Let's go A and B. There. Oh, wrong side, both sides, but that's okay. There you are, Ricky. Welcome, guys, to the Monday Night
Hey
Show.
Ryan, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Living the
Everything's
fucking dream.
going good.
Living the dream.
Let's hope the internet works tonight.
Yeah, well, she'll work pretty good tonight. I'm in a hotel, so she'll work. She will work tonight. Now that we are on, I just want to make sure we're on YouTube and Facebook. Micah Peeler says hello. JD Tail says hello, everyone. Monday night. Good evening, good evening, good evening to everyone. This is the Monday Night
So
Family.
it
Go ahead.
is my picture good because the camera's on a bit of an angle.
That's fine.
I'm not going to play around with it.
No, you're looking fine just the way you are.
Oh, thank you.
So Jeff Henderson says hello from down under. Hey guys, reminder: this show works best when you guys participate. So if you have questions or comments about anything, let me know. Uh, yeah. So Ricky, what's up?
Oh, not much. Everything's going smooth here. I mean, I was talking to my good friend Roman. Uh, uh, he's a pigeon fancier.
Mm,
Not a racing pigeon man, but we were discussing about how rude some people are just by coming into your backyard any time of day, opening the gate and walking around your backyard and looking in your pigeon loft and looking in your kitchen window and etc. And we were just talking about it. He had birds stolen, and it's like, that's, a topic. I'm just saying, like, anybody listening or watching this show, please be polite to people and don't start coming. You're a pigeon guy, you want to buy pigeons, you don't know, just don't start walking around the backyard. You know, Roman said, you know what you need? He's got a German Shepherd now. Let the German Shepherd run in the backyard. Like, these guys don't come in the backyard, but you don't want to have somebody's leg getting ripped off either. You know,
what can you do? It's how people are. Some people just kind of help themselves in, and
well, they're
I don't.
ignorant. And anybody watching this show, if they do that, um, like, I'm telling you right now, if you're walking into Buddy's backyard, I'm telling my dog off now. Scoot. If you're walking into somebody's backyard, even if you're a half-assed friend, like, don't just walk in his backyard because maybe Buddy doesn't want to tell you off. Um, but his German Shepherd will tell you off by ripping your pants off. And that's not very nice either for you. So have some respect for people. And that's why in the major, I got to top my other dog off, Murph, in the major lofts, they have a gate, an iron gate that you don't
Ricky,
get through that
Ricky,
backyard.
Ricky. Have you not realized in life people can get in wherever they want? They just go. It doesn't
I
matter,
understand that.
right? If you're that type of person and you're brought up that way, then that's what you're gonna do. Same
So
thing. If you're a pigeon flyer and you make an excuse, you're constantly getting rules changed to benefit your situation. The only thing I have to say is that you need to have a better work ethic. It's the same as people coming in your backyard. It's just the way they're raised. They're low class bums. That's it. Can't help low
yeah,
class bums. That's how their mothers raised them, right? Their mother didn't have any class either. That's why they were. Because if they had any class, their mother would have taught them that when they were younger. But the mother obviously didn't have any
100.
class either. So you know what it is we call it the trip down, fall down syndrome. It's a history repeats itself shit, and that's what you have there again. But you know what? There's nothing new about that.
100%. Just hold on. I got to be a judge. What do you call it? Referee. because Mr. Murphy, he decides he wants to get into this uh, treat that Scout has, and I have to pick him up and move him out of the way. Scout's telling him get lost, and he's not listening. So just give me 1 second, and you're probably going to hear Murph.
You
Here's
see, guys,
Murph.
this is what I love at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is the Monday Night Family
Well,
Show. This couldn't be any
this is
better
Murph.
than.
Murph's a vicious dog.
Oh,
Ah, he's a good dog. Okay. Okay, go, Murph. I'm gonna put him. But I mean, I just opened up the conversation. Anybody listening, watching, if you're doing this to people in their backyards, have some respect. And
okay.
that's it. You may say, hey, shit, I do that all the time. Well, have some respect. I got people walking in this backyard here 8 o'clock
Are
on
we
a
gonna go
Sunday
on? Are we,
morning,
well, we
and
know that.
they're looking through the kitchen window, looking through the bathroom window, like looking through the bedroom window,
Okay,
like
Ricky. Okay,
what's going on,
can we just
Okay,
move on?
so
Let's move on from this.
okay, let's
I
move
didn't,
on.
I didn't, I didn't stay up for this, and I don't think the people did. The people are awful
Okay, so
quiet tonight.
let's move on to another discussion about combines deciding to change the situation on how many birds you can clock, how many birds you can ship, how many flyers you can have on your property, and the distance. If you do have more than one flyer, the distance, the loft should be apart from your friend, your son, your mother, your grandmother on the property. Okay, so let's discuss that.
Okay, let's discuss it. Well, I'm gonna say on behalf of I think you're talking about the Eastern Ontario Combine, and I don't know. They had a meeting this weekend, and I don't know what their plan is, but they're going to get eliminated in the racing. They've put out a court a death sentence to the pigeons. They're going to only allow to ship 5 birds and clock 5 birds in one race, and then have a fun race afterwards where you can put 25 birds in. Everybody can put 25 birds in. Now, I'm trying to figure out who proposed this. I still haven't figured out who proposed it, but who proposed this idea? And 5 bird clocking, who proposed this? And hey guys, if you buy pigeons from us, I'm just using an example, and you spend good money on pigeons, you're buying them to fly them, aren't you? I mean, even if you don't buy pigeons from us, don't you want to fly as many pigeons as you can on a weekend? Why would you want to send 5 birds to a race? By the way, Canadians, you don't have the talent to pick 5 birds a week. You don't have it. And the reason why you don't have it is because you don't do it. It's not a practice. In Belgium, they have first nomination, second nomination, third nomination races where you earn points on nominating, and that's picking the pigeons that have to come in the certain order. We don't do it. It will not be done. But what the Eastern Ontario Combine presented, it is the worst thing I've ever seen. It is the most backwards. I think by the time halfway through Old Birds, right, they will all be yelling mercy. Please let us send all of our birds because we can't pick 5. And when you let up 150 pigeons or 200 pigeons from 400 miles, if there's not many that even go, good luck on getting them home. And you're going to blow birds away. Oh, and the other thing, they're going to take the champion bird points from this. I just want to know who's here. Shane, you're from the Eastern Ontario Combine. Genetic Potential, are you from that? I don't know. Hello, Ryan. Nice to see you again. Yeah, but I don't understand why you guys would even want this. Why did you waste your time with 5 bird shipping? Why the fuck didn't you just use 1 bird? Come on, let's see how big your nuts are. What moron presented this? What moron? I want to know what moron did it. Can someone tell? And I'm sorry, maybe I'm your friend. You know what? This is the problem, eh? Maybe I'm the person's friend, but it's a moronic thing. Richard, if you came up with this idea, I would call you a complete idiot. Complete.
Uh,
So I'm
I
saying,
would I would have to say, Ryan, don't ever say that's your friend, because if your friend has that thought all the way along, he's not my friend in pigeons. So he won't be a friend. A friend in pigeons? No, doesn't talk like that. I had another fella come up from London, Ontario, Sal. He came up and he said, "Well, we got a meeting. It was this weekend in his combine, federation, combine, whatever the hell you call it." And then I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Did you hear what the EOC, what they're doing? They're going to say you got to only nominate 5 birds." And if you're listening to me or watching me right now, you know the conversation we had. And I said to Sal, I said, "That's totally ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous." And Sal said to me, "Well, it's not so ridiculous, Richard." He said, "We had a guy a few years ago. He was constantly could clock 30 birds in a drop, take 30 positions, take all the points away, do all this and that, and nobody else could get on the sheet." And I said, "You know what, Sal? Nobody else can get on the sheet. What that man's doing, he's got good birds. He's working the pigeons properly. He's getting 30 birds on a drop, taking all the from number one right to 30 on the page. He deserved it. He's working his butt. Hell with the people that can't compete. And those people that can't, they're screaming. Well, they're not working. Number one, either they got uh, really they got poor pigeons. Number
uh,
two, they're
actually,
not working the pigeons. Okay, so
actually, the
so what we're saying is they have no taste in buying pigeons. They have no taste in working the pigeons, and they're blaming a man that clocks the first 30. They want to knock him out.
well,
Take
hold
only
hold on,
5.
hold
So
on,
that means
hold on,
okay. So
hold on.
that's what we're talking about,
But but
right?
but
So
but hold on. Most of
hey,
the
hey
people,
guys,
most of the people who blame that they don't have good pigeons. Their pigeons are fine. They're just morons. And as Sal from London, sorry Sal, me and Sal, we sort of don't see eye to eye.
I'm not going to
He hold
hide.
on.
I'm not going to
He
hhide Sal's name.
No,
Sal,
I don't know.
said
I
to Sal,
can I
and
just
he
fucking
said,
talk?
"Oh yeah, I think it's a good idea because nobody else can
Well,
come on the sheet." I
well,
said to him, "Hey
yeah, but
man,
he's a moron. He's a moron. He don't think for
no,
himself. He comes up with a bunch of excuses and he asks for free pigeons. I'm sorry to say it, Sal, but that's a moronic thing to do.
we're not going to bring that up.
No,
But
but
what
I'm
we're going to
saying
bring up is
no, no,
the
no,
issue.
no, no. Oh
The
no,
issue is
it all
about
goes
people
together.
whining about a person getting ahead of them with clocks of birds, and they want to cut that down to 5 pick birds, but they can't pick them, Ryan, because I'll tell you why. They got 40 or 50 birds in their loft, and they don't concentrate enough. They can't pick them. I'm just saying, pigeon keepers, they don't study the
Okay,
birds.
so I get some comments and then JD Teal says, "What the hell? What's your thoughts on all the losses at the one loft races? What the losses? Is it losses new? Is losses a new thing? It's like we're making it like it's oh the losses. Whoa, jeez. Sure, losses. Birds are candy assed the whole way through. Then when the guy asks them and the day's not perfect, then the birds struggle because they were candy assed the whole way through. And then the next question you got to say is who's the guy who's training the birds? That's the next thing you're trying to say. Who are they? And the next thing you got to say is who are the people sending the birds? You know? If all the birds on every race get special treatment, don't go to the real races, get always tailwinds, blah, 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 what happens? When it gets to a day where it's maybe a little racy, you get a loss. And that's good. That means don't screw with Mother Nature. Don't screw with Mr. Basket. As Krista Becker said, there's only one friend I ever have. That's when I win the Nationals, my basket wins the Nationals. My basket never lies. My basket selects all the pigeons. As Krista Becker says it, and I like what he says. I know nothing about pigeons, but my basket knows everything. Think about this. Now, the people that adjust these rules, and Shane says here, I think it sounds completely ridiculous. I think they voted against most of the proposals, though. Well, I don't know. How did they go from shipping 30 birds to 5 birds? Two races? I don't know. I don't even know what moron made this
Hold,
up.
hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
I need to have some tea.
The yeah, I believe they were talking about uh 30 birds. Yeah, 30 birds per loft. If you have 2 flyers on the property, each flyer can only send 15 birds, 30
Hold on.
birds per property.
Yeah, that's another stupid thing. Oh, and the other thing I heard is that they say that each loft should have its own clock. Well, here's something. Why in the world would people be buying Benzing M3s that hold 7 lofts and 1 clock? They did that for lofts that have families, lofts that have families that want to fly multiple teams. And now we're saying you have to have a clock per loft. That's another moronic thing. But what it sounds like is I have a feeling that in the Eastern Ontario Combine, there are guys that think they should be flying better, but they're a bit old. They can't put the work in no more. So what they're going to do is they're going to make an adjustment. But what they don't realize is when you want to win, the more that they adjust, the person that wants to win and sees the foul play, they just work a little harder. So what you're technically going to do is you're going to give the advantage to the person that you're really trying to screw or the
Yeah,
teams you're trying to screw. And I will say, I
100%.
was talking to Caleb Marshman. Okay, he's 30 years old, young pigeon guy. Target market, we need young pigeon guys. He's got a whole team of pigeons. He's invested money in pigeons. He invested money in a loft. He invested. He went to the club. He did shipping. He had champion young bird. He did this, did this, did this, did this. Now they're penalizing him to fly pigeons. They're penalizing them. Do you want to know what? He's saying, I think I'm going to pack in flying pigeons. You know what? I'm going to go and play softball. Now, I just want to congratulate the Eastern Ontario Combine because they're so backwards. It's sad. I think, again, Bob Waterfall, I need you to retire. Park it. Park the whole thing. Shut her down. You're running a horse trailer to haul the birds. Shut that down. I think you guys, real simple, there's 40 members. Why don't you idiots think a little bit smarter? 1 bird shipping, okay? You don't need clocks. You call it in. Call it in. 1 bird shipping, and every week one guy takes them up the road in their little minivan. And you guys, guess what? All the money you saved, you can get yourselves ribbons, you can get yourself stickers, you can feel good. Feel good. Because this in the EOC, this isn't pigeon racing. And all the members that allowed that to happen, I'm disgusted. And
But I hope,
whoever made it up was
excuse me,
was a
excuse
moron.
me. I really hope, and we got people watching all over the world this show. I hope this doesn't crawl into your combine, into other combines, crawl into that because uh, it's it's ridiculous. 100% ridiculous. And exactly what you said, the persons that want to win, they have top birds, they will figure out uh, the lazy bone guys that vote this good so they can get a ribbon. They're only pigeon keepers. They're not pigeon flyers. And when you're a pigeon keeper, you haven't got a clue what's going on. You're a maybe guy. And the new guy that comes in, he's getting like you said, this Caleb guy. He's like, holy shit. Oh, now what do I do?
Oh,
And the other
what?
thing too is they don't promote, hey, have 4 flyers on your yard. Have your son, your daughter, maybe your mother-in-law. She can have you can have 4 families on your yard. We can all ship how many birds? Boom, we're done. Having a good time. No, they want to cut that back. And one guy said, and it was I believe it was Jim McGinnis. He said, Jim, if you're listening, I heard this through the grapevine. You know, yes, I heard it through the grapevine. Yes, I did. Apparently, you thought would be a good idea to have lofts 150 feet apart. So if you wanted to have 2 lofts on your yard, they had to be 150 feet apart. If you want to have 4 lofts on your yard, how do we work that? Like 150 feet apart this way, 150 feet up that way. Hey, Jim, not a lot of people have a lot of yardage in their yard. And as I know in Belgium, I've been there. I think you've been there too, Jim. Uh, People have yards. The loft is touching the neighbor's back of his house. So I'm just saying to bring that I have to say that shit up. That's plain shit.
Well, the whole thing's shit. I don't
You
know who
know,
proposed all this shit, but I'll say one thing. I think I just think
I I
people are
I
trying
I,
to win, and people are trying to stop people from enjoying their pigeons and
I
mob flying.
I'm gonna use a man like Jim McGinnis, nice guy. Him and Judy come over here, put birds in the one loft race. Very nice. But I know when Jim was selling pigeons, I heard it from other peoples that were buying birds from him, and he said, if you buy my quality pigeons and you work with my quality pigeons, they will show you on the race results how you can uh, basically become a highlight in the pigeon game.
Well,
And that would
I
mean like you know, and
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
tell you.
saying like,
I'm gonna
wait a
tell
minute
you.
now.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm hoping that Jim didn't propose these proposals because I thought he's a hell of a better pigeon guy than this. I think they should have no shipping limits. They should have no clocking limits. You should ship as many birds as you want. I think the combines should charge maybe over 30 birds, $3 a bird, or $4 a bird, or $5 a bird. Put as many on as you want. I think they should have a 5 bird race as well. They can have that as well, where they put in $100 for 5 birds and send them every week. I think that's all good. I think some of the ideas are good, but why penalize properties for flying pigeons? Jan Hoymans has a loft in Belgium, a loft in Holland, a loft in England, a loft in Romania, a loft in Scotland. He got a loft everywhere. Each loft, he ships 250 pigeons to races. Now, hold on. People love racing against Jan Hoymans because when you beat him, it's very nice. You get to beat the big guy. Now, he is going to beat you. He's going to clean your clock a lot of the times. But when you get the chance to beat him and you do, that's great. I don't understand, why are we buying import pigeons and then taking how we fly at home and completely screwing it up. Like
I,
it's like
I
it's
would,
like
I,
you know
I would,
what? I'm gonna go to Russia. I'm going to Russia, and I'm gonna go to a hockey game, and I want to see if they're using golf clubs or hockey sticks. In Russia, they body contact, they wear skates, shin pads, shoulder pads, helmets, blah 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 blah. They wear everything the
yeah,
same as other us Canadian hockey. But here, pigeon flying in Canada, I guess they're afraid. Well, here it is. Michael Peeler says, why are 40 members listening to one old fool control everything? No one has a backbone. No, Michael Peeler, nobody has a backbone. People don't have a backbone. They just sit there and they're quiet. Because what are they going to say? Who are you going to say? What are you going to say? I think that's no. Because what they do is the the one fool, he makes the proposal and he tells all the other fools that can't win either. He tells them, well, this is going to be more fair for us. This is going to be more fair. This is a lot more fair. You know what? Then everybody gets a chance, and everybody gets a chance. No, you fools. The winners, they take it as a challenge to kick your ass harder. So you know what they do? They work a little harder, and they work a little harder until next year. The same fools again, they scratch their head and they go, well, now what are we going to do, boss? Then they'll reduce it down to one bird.
what I'd
What
say
what
is,
what would five bird? Why five?
why chastise those pigeons? That's what they're doing, chastising the pigeons. They say you can put five, only could clock five, but if you're only one person on a property, you can send 30, but the other 25, they don't count. Well, you're chastising the pigeons. Well, wait a minute. What's your name?
Oh,
Whatever.
hold on.
Okay, so hold
I
on.
got, I got.
Let me talk. Let me talk. Okay, hold on, bud. How many birds you got? I got 30. Yeah. Okay, you're only allowed to clock five. Oh, really? You pick five? Yeah, okay. So the rest of them are really shit. They're just going for a fly, for a training toss. They're shit, right? Okay. Well, wait a minute. Don't call my pigeon shit. Well, wait a minute. Apparently, the combine or your combine says you can only clock five. Oh, well, I can get points on the 25. But no, no, no. It's not. It's it's terrible, you know. But for the crybabies, they want to get their points in, and I haven't heard any more about who's the guy there. I know he's partnership with Shane. I think it's Shane or Lance.
Yeah.
Lance, and
Well,
I didn't hear any more about that. Apparently, I heard through the grapevine that Lance and his buddy partner, they never spoke up. They never said nothing. I'll tell you why. They've only been flying pigeons for 3 years. They don't have enough balls to stand up.
listen,
Sorry, I've been around. I've been around long enough. I can smell the shit.
listen. I don't know how we can do a show. I don't know how, and I know Eastern Ontario members watch this show. I don't know why they don't just just fly like they do in Europe. Just fly it the same way. Why are you making all these Mickey Mouse rules that don't work? The winners are still going to win, and you're still going to be a loser because you don't put the work in. You have families, you have wife, you have kids, you're going on a trip halfway through the summer. There's all the reasons why you don't win because the winners find the way to put the work in. And that's the thing that people don't seem to understand. So whoever made up these rules, I say next year, I hope when the meeting comes back up, someone says we want to ship only one bird because I think if we're going to pick five, our balls are big enough to say we're only going to send one. And you know what? You guys can all go home, open up the loft door, and put 95% of them into the bin. Just put them all tonight. Just put them all in the bin. You're going to save a lot of money because you won't need all those pigeons. You don't need them. You guys are so good. You guys are better than God. And you know what? Another thing, I hope the Eastern Ontario Combine, I hope every race they're playing for to enter, it's $1,000 a team. Because you know what? When you're picking 5 birds, you guys really know what you're doing. But it's funny, eh? The people who made the proposals, from what I hear, I looked at their results. You know where they were on the sheet? They never even made the sheet most weeks. So wait, they're going to now pick? They're now going to pick every week 5 birds. Well, guess
Holy
what?
shit.
Guess what? When you could ship 25 birds and you didn't have to pick, you couldn't get them. But now
On the
you're gonna
sheet.
now you're gonna pick them. So guess what?
100%.
Guess what?
Oh,
I look forward to watching the Eastern Ontario Combine to see how good they can pick them.
yeah.
And you know
Let's
what?
see,
You know
boys.
what? When you're done, please, I will buy each bird that you can pick them, and I want them in clocking order too. I really want you all to pick them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You know what? We've talked about this for long enough, but it just burns my ass. It
I'm
really
going to tell
does.
you something. Let's talk
Fuck.
more about this combine. They
No.
got, I think, 4 or 5 people that they eliminated out of the combine because I don't know what it is, but it's something like I don't like the way you shave your hair, or I don't like the way you walk, or you burped, or maybe you had a little alcohol on your breath, and they told them we don't want you in the combine. You can't come back. And one is that guy there in Bowmanville, you know, the I can't remember his name now, Joe Ferreira.
No, Sanford.
Sam Ferreira. They
Well,
kicked him off, and they I don't know why they kicked him off. I like to know why they kicked him off, and then they won't let him back on. And then there's a guy in Peterborough, that Bill fella. There's about 4 or 5 of them. They kicked off. Why? Because he looked
what,
sideways
what,
at
what,
me. Why?
here's
Because
here's
he said Trudeau was doing a
here.
great job. They kicked
Hold
him
on,
off.
hold on. So John Willis says, buy a clock, start your own club, elect new electives. To hell with the idiots. Yeah, that's a good idea. But you know what? If you're, it just it's too much. I'm telling you, I'm not interested in starting a club. I've tried starting clubs. It's you know what? It's not worth it. I mean, this whole conversation is not really worth it. It's just so funny how you just see people they can't win, so they're going to
Hey,
change the rules to try to win.
listen, that
I actually
felt.
think, you know what? You know what? We're doing it wrong. I think, in all honesty, these rule changes will be good because it's going to prove yet again that if the people that do the work again, the result will be the same, but actually it's going to be even better for the people who do the work because the same lazy nut jobs that didn't work last summer, history will repeat itself. They're too old. They're too old. They're done. They're finished.
And if I could say something, the people that do the work, half of these people that do the work, half of them been in pigeons maybe 20 years or more, so they know the game. And the young person coming in, I'm talking young flyer, been in less than 5 years, he doesn't know, or she doesn't know really what
Here's something.
to do the work.
Here's something. Here,
They may think I bought $5,000 worth of pair of pigeons. Now I'm ready to do the work. That don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I know it. They're pigeon
so
keepers
hold on.
up to a
Hold on.
certain time.
Hold on. So Michael Peebler says, why make bylaws when you're not willing to use them? I agree. Mike Vandriak. Wow, it's been a long time since I've seen you, Mike. This feels a little bit odd. I feel like it's like an ex girlfriend that I just bumped into. You know what I mean? You see her, you go, huh, there's
Mike
there's
Vandriak.
there's
Who is it? Who is
there's
Mike?
Susan.
Mike.
But
Who is he?
anyways, he says, listen. He says people are afraid of drag. No, people aren't afraid of drag. People make an excuse. Drag is created by two things. Two things where drag comes from. Leading pigeons create the drag, and wind guides them left or right through the course. That's it. If you are a winner, you create the drag. As my good friend Dean Pallett said, pigeons win races at the start. It's the pigeon that draws the straightest line. He creates the drag because pigeons, they follow. Just like humans, a lot of sheep, right? One leader, the sheep all follow. Pigeons the same way. So if you want to win pigeon races, it's a real simple thing. Create leaders. And when the wind is with you and it's your time, you will be right up there. And when the wind's not with you, you'll be behind just a little bit, but you'll be still right there. Drag, drag. I have no problem flying against somebody that ships 200 birds and I'll ship 20. I have no problem whipping them. I have no problem competing against them, and I will never use, well, he has 200 birds. The more birds that you have, the less control you can have over them, the less detail you can put in. So for small lofts, it's very, very good. Take a look at Patrick Book's Fly 6 Pigeons, National Ace Pigeons. Take a look. Take a look at Van de Bulk, 12 pigeons they fly. Take a look. And they're flying out of Kivran. They're flying 50,000 bird release. He breeds first national ace pigeon sprint. Hey, the common thing they say is we don't have 100 pigeons because I don't know when they have a headache. I don't know when they have the flu. I don't know when they miss their hen. But when I have 6 or 12, I know exactly what they're thinking. I know exactly how loud to turn the music on so they sleep good. I know it all. But people make excuses like drag and whatever. It's the same thing. I had a bad toss and I lost all my birds except for 20 and I'm going to quit flying. Well, what you just did was you just totally disrespected the birds that did what you asked them to do and come. The other ones you lost, they were just crap. Yeah, maybe you
I,
lost
I,
one good. Maybe you lost one good one. But if
I,
he's really that good, he'd be home.
I would like to say something, and I'm very happy to see Mike Vanderyak coming on. We haven't heard from him in a while. I know he's had birds. He's been keeping pigeons for years, years, probably 50 years. Okay, but I would like to have Mike Vanderyak go on the tour, uh, which we're presenting, and maybe Mike. I know you don't come here, but I'm going to tell it to you right now. Maybe you're going to learn something, Mike. Learn something. You know,
You
when
can't.
you're in a when you're in a climax or climate where you can't learn outside that box. Everything inside the box is so polluted that you think you're learning, but you're not really. So you got to get outside that box. Go on the tour and find out really what
You don't.
you
You
know.
don't have to.
I'm saying
You don't
what
have to.
how Wayne Gretzky really shoots the puck, or Ronaldo really kicks the ball, or the basketball guy, whatever. The real pros do it. But don't think that you've been 50 years in this country, and I just want you might be hurt what I'm saying. Don't think that you know about pigeon flying, because honest to God,
Oh,
you
listen.
only know about a quarter of what it takes to be a real pigeon flyer.
If
So
people, if people, if
I'm
people,
just
if
telling you that. You may
I
not
know,
like to hear that from
if
me. I
people,
know you're watching it,
uh,
but hey, I know.
if people make excuses like drag and people make these statements, they're not even making real statements. It, it- it's just, it's just people just make excuse on top of excuse, and you know, I don't know. It's the same thing. People send birds to one loft races. Their birds don't even compete in clubs and in combines, but they'll put them into one loft races and spend a lot of money. And the birds, they don't race them all season. They fly two races, they park them, They're putting birds into races they shouldn't even be going in. And then the people blame the birds or the people blame the handlers. It's bad. And that's another thing, Mr. JD Teal. You say, why do birds get lost at one off races? Because most pigeon flyers, hey, I'm not going to lie. We did the Pioneer Band race. It was a 4 race series. It was 4 300-mile races. We sold 1,700 or 1,600 rings. And I think we sold 50, 60, 70 guys. And out of all those guys, there was only 7 guys that did all 4 races. Now, I heard guys say, well, that race is too far in the corner. I'm not going to fly it. It's too far of a drive. I'm not going to do it. I only have 2 birds. I'm not going to come do it. Left. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever the story is. But 7 guys, they figured out how to finish. So automatically, those 7 guys, in my opinion, they're way better pigeon men than the other 50 guys that bought rings. Now, if you were one of those guys that couldn't do all 4 races, I'm sorry, and you're watching, you're not a pigeon man. Thank you for buying the rings. And the first step to becoming is start and finish. Not win or lose, start and finish. Simple, right? You have to first start and finish, and then you can say, well, what do I got to do better? But if you don't start and you don't finish, you ain't anywhere close. Anyways, we got some comments here. Mike Vandiak says he tries to learn something every day. Okay, I know less than 1%. And Mike, yes, you know less than 1%. And I'll agree. I think probably you know about less than 1%. Could you imagine, Mike, how smart you'd be if you knew 2%? But hey, stick to 1%. There's nothing wrong with 1%. Jeff Henderson says the tour shows you what good birds look like and how good flyers are. I've been in the game 45 years and learned so much on the tour. Hey, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. Stephen Collins says, hey, Alfred, enjoyed the visits and the soup. Thanks for the bottle of alcohol. It's delicious. It is. I'm not going to lie. I had, Stephen, if you're watching, I had the bottle of whiskey and I made a hot tea. Okay. I put a spoon of honey in the hot tea with a squeeze of lemon, and I put an ounce of this whiskey into the tea, and it was hot. Stirred it up, drank it. Super good. Let's go. Mike Vaniak says, Secret said that the only thing he knew was that he knew nothing. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Again, lots of good riddles, and I like the riddles. Well, I get down to common sense. And anyways, enough of that. I don't know what we were talking about. Anyways, it was just nonsense.
We're talking about EOC, and the other thing too is they suspended 4 or 5 people out of the EOC, and there's someone else there.
But here's my question.
Some other fellow. He's got a club. You know the guy. They call him Michael Jackson, but
yeah, Dave Ramtran.
Dave Ramtran. He's got some people on his little truck, a little trailer. He wants to come on, and they don't want him to come on because they don't like him. Like, I am telling you something. Guess what, people? Pigeon flyers, listen to me. When I fly against you, you're an asshole. And if you don't like that, hey, watch. My birds are going to blow you away. Oh, we don't want you on the trailer because you just called me an asshole. Hey, guess what, man? I mean, this guy here wants to bring members on, and then they suspended those 5 guys off the trailer. What did they do? Did they rape your wife? What did they do? Come on, man. And now you said, oh, they can't come on. Oh, they can't come on. Oh, you got that many members? Well, how your trailer runs on half the capacity, not even a full capacity. So, or half, not even half the capacity, these people. Okay, why don't you put the assholes that you don't like put them on the other half of the trailer and charge them to come on. Come on, man. Hey, listen, if I'm driving a taxi cab, I take everybody on. That's it. That's my business. I want to keep the cab running. What are these people? Are these people stupid? I just said to Mike Vanderyak, you heard me say it to him. Well, now Mike doesn't like Richard because what he said about me. Oh, so he can't fly on the Niagara North trailer. Oh, he's an idiot. He's going to talk about everybody about me because I told the truth.
Okay, so here,
Hey,
hold
grow
on.
up, boys. Grow up, boys.
Mike Vanderyak says the NRRPA is flying 9 races out of Quebec in 2025. Oh, is that like dead east? It's a complete east course, so that'll be fun. I wonder how long that'll last. That'll be interesting. I don't think it'll last very long. And 9 races out of Quebec, 300. So you're gonna go to Quebec 9 times. That's what, 300 miles 9 times. I think that'll be a little bit tricky, but hey, you never know. And now here's my other question: why are they going east? But it's east is fun. You guys will enjoy that, and I'll tell you something. When they go to the east, remember when you go to the east, Mike, your birds have to fly into the wind. That means every time down the road, it's into the wind. And if you guys have north pigeons, they're pretty candy ass soft, tailwind blowing. They're going to have a one hell of a rude awakening when they go east 9 weeks in a row. You know what? The good old wheels are going to come off. You better hope you have a few pigeons like Terry Fox that have real heart, because if you don't, you're screwed. Van Zoren says, winners have to plan, losers have excuses. Winners look for opportunities, losers look for difficulties. Well, here's the thing. Everything that Mr. Van Zoren just said, this is why people you buy pigeons from this guy. This is why we represent this guy. And I'll tell you right now, if I lived right beside Alfred, I'm friends with him. I like him. We'll have drinks. Like pigeons. I look over the fence and I say, I'm going to kick your ass. And I smile. We go to the club. We go to battle. But when the race day's over, we have a drink and we say, shit, you beat me. Oh, he beat me. I beat him. Back and forth, back and forth. And you know what? That's pigeon racing. But you have to be competitive. And losing, what most people don't realize is losing makes you better at winning.
Hey, listen,
Mike
listen, listen,
Vanderyak says
listen, my.
north, more
Yeah.
north than east.
Okay, good for you. Anyways, listen to me. When you're playing sports, any kind of sports, which pigeon flying is a sport. It's
No,
the
it's not.
same.
It's
It's
not a sport.
okay. Wait, hold on a minute. It's a sport. But when you're playing sports and you're on the game and you're playing the game, doesn't matter what game it is, soccer, basketball, and you're playing against your opponent's beside you is your opponent. You tell him your mother's a bitch. Your mother's an asshole. You tell him right to his face. And you know what he tells you? He forgets about the game. He forgets it. Holy shit. That's the best thing you ever told him. He forgets the game. He's all, oh, he called my mother an asshole, a bitch, a whore, whatever it was. Oh, yeah. So in pigeon racing, it's the same thing. Hey, bud, I'm going to kick your ass. And guess what? You're an asshole. And guess what?
So,
My
anyways,
pigeons know it.
so
The modern
oh,
world, though, they don't want to hear this shit, right?
well, no, we're
But
still
that's the way it is.
listen, we're having parades for gay people. Okay, that's the world we're in now. We're into everybody gets a ribbon. We're into everyone gets a ribbon. We're into the soft side of the world here. I mean, take a look at it. Take a look at the Eastern Ontario Combine. 40 men, and they all have to get a prize. Well, we want to make it fair. We want to make it fair for the people who don't put the work in. You know what? I think women have more balls than men. I think they do. You know what? I'd like to see a club of women. a pigeon club of women. I'd like to see how that works because I think at least women would tear each other apart and scream at each other and really give it good.
We got a woman coming in. Nancy, happy birthday, Nancy. Oh, sorry to do this to you guys. Okay. Yeah, I know exactly. We see some cat fights, eh?
Yeah,
We call
well,
them cat fights.
now I was gonna say, oh, let me just take that off there. I had put the wrong thing up.
Hold on.
I wanted to let people know that we have closing on
Happy birthday.
on Wednesday. We have our match pair, our first set of match pairs closing at Feathers Elite Pigeon
Okay.
Auctions, and the match pairs are quite simple. Pay for one, and you're gonna get two birds. So first lot up, the first pair up is the pair from Eddie Grugens. Robbie Paco Pox is the cock.
Can you put that
Nice
up
big
for me?
cock. He's strong, a little bit larger pigeon, super nice eye, loaded up. And the hen that goes along with him, selected by Eddie Grugens, is inbred Pattaya Crusher. Again, Eddie Grugens did fantastic 2 years ago at the Pattaya one loft race. This is the same way bred. So this is the match pair right here. This will be the first pair closing. Take a look at them. They look good together. Nice pair. And the second match pair we have is from Jos Goosen. This is the inbred Sagan. Very nice blue-pied cock, pencil cock. He's a 10. Gorgeous inbred Sagan. And the hen that goes along with him is Spider Sagan. It's funny, both breeders that did the match pairs, they did one thing in common. Do you know what that is? And if you guys know, post it in the comments. If you know what they did, if you've seen it, if you've looked at it, and I find it always interesting. In the match pairs, what did both breeders do in common? Uh, they probably
It's under that
they
chair.
probably wouldn't bitch as much as men, says
What?
Stephen Collins.
That's under that chair. That chair?
Uh,
But I never
what do we,
drink this too late.
if
Too
there's a
late.
club for women, I will sign up as a volunteer. No, Frank, not the eyes. Good
Yeah.
guess, but no, not the eyes. Not the
Oh
eyes.
yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
JD Teal, he gets the point. They give an inbred. For you people that don't know, they're giving an inbred. When you're getting a match pair and there's an inbred, you're not getting two birds. You're now getting three birds.
Eat.
Because when you take the inbred and you cross it to your own stuff, boom, you get power. So take a look at those inbreds, guys. Again, both are nice. Both breeders have done extremely well in one loft races, and you people all over North America, all you look at is one loft racing like it's the end all be all of pigeon racing, which is fine. And that's the only reason why that is because people like in the EOC, they force people to just get into one loft racing because it just make it so much non-fun.
Yeah, and if
They
you
are
buy an inbred
cousins. There you
pigeon,
go. Cousins are good.
very good for outcross.
Yeah. And again, this is exactly how the breeders wanted them paired up. So I didn't make the pairs, the breeders did. The breeders selected out of the birds in the sale, they made the match pairs, and this is what they went with. Also running at Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions, we've got two auctions. These are super impact. You've got the incredible G Pigeons, Anik Gochan. Uh, as Krista Becker said, she is slowly going to make people forget about Gabby Vandenabile, what she's doing with these pigeons. Please, guys, take a look at these lots. Look at the results. Just look at the results. That's all I want you to do. Okay? And I'm going to give you a little tip on this woman here. She just had an auction on her box. Out of the 7 pigeons she sold, 1 sold to China, and the other 6 sold to Belgium breeders. Guys, if the Belgians are buying her pigeons to race in Belgium, I'm going to tell you, giddy up and let's go. Don't be shy. And our auction that just opened on Sunday is Bosmans and Leekens. They're the superpower. In China, these guys are more popular than the Beatles. Again, Pioneer Club in China, they were the ace pigeon. They're again winning a few $1,000,000. Already 2 seasons in Pioneer Club in China. They've won everything. Dirk and Mark from Bosmans and Leekens, these guys have outstanding pigeons. Some of my favorites. And if you get a chance to own one, you're very lucky because when they sell them here in Europe, the pigeons all go to China. So the great thing is I don't have Chinese on our auction, and heaven forbid, because if the Chinese ever find what we're doing, the pigeons will go there as well. But we just, I guess, haven't got that lucky. Uh, Maybe is it luck or it's luck for you guys, that you guys get these opportunities. But those are the auctions that we have running. So take a look. You won't go wrong. What does Sherry say? I'll join the women's club. Yeah, I'd like to see the. I don't know. I'd like to see something different. I'm so sick and tired of pigeon clubs. I don't think I'll ever participate. I don't think I'll ever fly pigeons in Canada ever again. I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth the time, the energy. It's not worth seeing sour shoes. You know what? It's the worst thing ever. It's the worst clubs I've ever seen. And combines, it's the worst. And it's for some reason, there should be a rule. When new young people come in, you should get them involved instead of the 70-year-olds running the whole thing. 70-year-olds, you're ready to park it. You're not supposed to be presidents. You're not supposed to be doing all that stuff. You're supposed to just go to the club, ship your birds, say hi to people. That's it. Sorry to say, but and I feel really bad for Oscar and Linda DeVries because they got a $400,000 pigeon loft, and now they can't ship birds for the EOC. And you want to know the best part? Because they got whipped so bad there this year, they didn't go back, and it's unbelievable. But you know what? It shows you the type of guys they are. Shows you the type of quality of their birds, quality of the people. Sorry, he was cheating, and he didn't even stand up for this.
Well,
What a show!
if I could make another statement,
What time
uh,
is it?
you know, when you're cheating, you lose your face. And apparently, he's still a member of the EOC, but apparently, I heard it through the grapevine again. They never even went to the meeting to discuss this, whatever they wanted to do, 5 bird clocking, so many birds per yard, whatever. They never went to the meeting. They never showed up at the friggin' meeting. And apparently there's 3 of them, the Vrieses, Oscar, Linda, and what's his name? Jack. They never went to the meeting. They never showed to voice, to support, same as voice, to vote. They never showed up. Like, hey man, where are your what you say, Kanokis or your nuts?
Yeah,
Where's your nuts, man?
but meanwhile, throughout the season, those people will dictate the rules and the training and when the liberations can be, and how you take the birds to the trailer. They'll do all that, but when it's time to actually go to a meeting, people don't go. And I'm sorry to pick on Mr. Oscar, but he set himself up for this one, so that's fine. And we're not going to go back about the EOC here again because it's
We're
just
not going to
a
go back
pointless.
and forth on it, but Mr. Oscar, he had a website or he had a show over there in Ottawa, whatever the hell he was, and he cut us off for any input that we would have was eliminated, but we don't cut him off. We invite him to come on, swear, cuss, whatever the hell he has to do, and Linda and Jack come on, and they don't come on. but they're sitting back and listening. Guess what?
All
You
right.
know those things between your pants, those Canuckies? You don't have them. You don't have them.
All
Come
right.
on,
So
stand up for your rights.
let, let's move
No,
forward.
I can
I
say it.
know.
Stand up for your rights, Mr.
All right.
Big Balls.
So what else we wanted to talk about? What else? Oh, this
Talk
weekend.
about hawk
The,
season.
oh, I'll tell you something about hawk season. I went the other night out with Emil Denny's, and I wanted to get a video of this, but he didn't really want me to video it or interview him on it. So he lives in a very quiet area, out in the middle of a field, sort of. And I've seen him poison hawks. I've seen him do all kinds of things, like stopping the hawks from getting his birds. So it's beautiful green grass, and it's an open field. And in the middle of the field, there is a small cage, and there's a canary in the cage, a bright orange canary, and it's beautiful. It's just sun was starting to set, and you could see it was real. It was like a fluorescent orange. And I says to Emil, I said, "Why do you have?
Something I bought for a gift.
Why?
When you're
Do,
finished, you can look.
what, I'm in the middle of talking, and then you're going that way. Could you just let me finish my story so you don't screw up the people listening? What are you, a ding dong?" Are you done?
Oh,
So,
don't cut me out. Don't cut me out. Here you
so
go.
getting back to my story, he had a canary in the cage, and I said, "Why do you have a canary?" And he said, "The best thing to catch hawks is a canary." And I said, "Well, why?" And he says, "A canary in a cage never sits still." And I thought about it, and it's far better than putting a pigeon in a cage. The canary constantly moves back and forth on the cage, fluorescent, in the green grass, on his hawk trap. I had a Cooper Hawk.
I think. Can I make a statement?
Uh,
I think he's 100% right because I have. Well, could I say I have some friends with rollers? And I shouldn't say that because it's a
okay, just
race pigeon
on.
show, but
Okay.
rollers or crack tumblers or something. And they say when they let their rollers out and the rollers go up, and basically a roller just flies around above your property pretty well. And he does those rolls that the hawk sees that and he just it's almost like what do you call it, like baiting him in the air, and he just can't stand it. Bang, he hits him. And I think the canary idea is very good. The canary goes back and forth in the cage and the hawk gets crazy. And I had an old friend, his name was Volker Vale, and he said to me one time, "I don't have a fly pen." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I don't want to advertise my pigeons to the hawk. Because when the pigeon comes out from the loft, goes in the fly pen, he's fluttering, he's landing on the perch, whatever he's doing, and the hawk sees that. He figures and then he said, well, when I go to let my pigeons out, the hawk automatically looks for my place because I'm advertising." And how many times, Ryan, you've been on your tours, and what do you see at lofts? What do they have over their windows?
Well, most lofts don't even have aviaries. They
No,
don't
but
have.
what I'm saying is they have frosted glass.
Sure, frosted glass,
Frosted.
frosted
Yeah.
glass,
So
or they don't really have a lot of the lofts here that don't have the race lofts never have aviaries. You
no.
don't see very many
But on
aviaries.
their windows, they
Yes,
have
but
frosted glass because they don't want, number one, if they're flying widowhood cocks, they don't want the cocks flying and seeing hens through the glass. And the other thing, the hawks don't see in.
yeah. Stephen Collins says, "I think the rule change will decimate the industry. Well, there's not much of an industry. Um, I had a Cooper hawk grab a bird today. The bird escaped with minor flesh wounds. Oh, that's good. Sometimes that happens. Mike Vaniak says,
I
I think Volker had it that right. Aviaries seem to encourage hawks. Well, sure, because what you're doing is you're showing. Well, we know exactly what we're doing when we have an aviary. We're teasing the hawk, right? That's what.
even if you have if you
Why do you think McDonald's puts those golden arches up? They're teasing you to come in and get a burger. The same shit, but that's common sense. Anyways, we know that.
same as if you have a bird feeder in your yard where you have pigeons. You might have a pigeon loft. You have a bird feeder 20 feet away for wild birds in the winter. Wild birds are coming and they're eating off the feeder. The hawk sees that and he's going, "Whoa!" Like I wouldn't even put a bird feeder near my loft
Yeah, these are
because exactly.
all good, valid points.
Yeah, I think Mike sees the points right there. I think Mike would be a really good person to go on this tour.
No, I don't know. You know what? The thing with the Pigeon Boss tour is it's not just a Pigeon Boss tour. It's life changing. Ask Stephen Collins. He'll tell you. He's been on two of them. It's once you've gone on the tour, you turn the corner, and a lot of people, I don't know if they can handle to change that, turn that corner. So I always say, I warn them, be careful. Same thing, buying pigeons off our site. You know, if you buy the pigeons, you got to put the work into them. But if you put the work into them and you buy the good pigeons, you're going to be right there. But if you buy the pigeons and don't do anything, you're not going to get nothing out of it. It's the same with anything. But I see the auctions and I see the people, and I know some people. I get messages after, and it's so nice to see these return buyers, and I know why they're coming back because the birds are producing. Should you let breeders fly? You can let breeders fly if you want, or you can have an aviary for them if you want. But if you could let your breeders out, that's great. If you could, if you can't, you can have an aviary for them. But aviaries, they attract the hawks. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. So if you have an aviary for your breeders, which is nice, it's good to have an aviary for them. I think you are going to up your hawkage. I think you'll up your hawkage,
Oh yeah.
right?
Last week
Mm.
I got in the stockbirds there. I had a hawk. He was sitting on the fly pen, and I got a nice fly pen there. Um, it's 8 feet by 24 feet, and it goes in an L shape across the back. He was on there. He was jumping on the top of the wire, and I went and got the gun, and he went up into a tree, and then with the sight, I just bang, I knocked him off. But 100%, you're advertising your product to the hawk, and the hawk actually thinks that you're kind of asking him to come over and eat. And I know when you let birds out for a fly, and they're ready to come down, you whistle them in, and they know it. The hawk listens to that whistle. He knows the bird's landing, time to eat. Just like your dog. Your dog does the same. You give him a whistle, you say, "Hey, you want to have supper?" Oh, yeah, your dog knows it. Boom. The hawk knows the same damn thing.
Yeah, Stephen Collins said it would be nice to see some Americans or Canadians on the tour. Oh, that's that would be nice. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, we open up our tours for anybody, any country can come. I mean, pretty much as long as you speak somewhat English. Because if you don't speak English, I'm going to have a hell of a time. But yeah, I've opened it up to Canadians and Americans, and I don't think Canadians and Americans see a lot of interest in it. I think that's just what it is. Australia, we always get good support from Australia, which is great. Uh, Aaron says, a hawk got into my little coop and it ate a pigeon and got stuck inside. Oh, there you go. Well, catch it and kill it. Don't let it out because it'll come back in. Once it learns to come in once, it gets even more brave. Michael Peeler says, fly pens could be put in colored shade cloth. Yeah, you could put it in colored shade cloth, but you're going to be spending more money on that. And you know what? I don't know. I don't think people are going to do that, but it's a good idea.
But if you'll ever notice, though, if you have an open fly pen out of your loft, the birds know when to go out and when not to. They get so smart. It's like, excuse me, if you have open hole pigeons. Oh, and you pigeon man, I just said open hole. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
come on,
I'm
let's
sorry.
go.
But I'm just saying, you got open hole pigeons from morning till night. Those open hole pigeons, right from the middle of July, right through, they know when to go out, when not to go out. They listen to the sounds of the blue jays, the crows, the chipmunks, the squirrels making their chitters, that there's problem around. But when you have pigeons that you just let them out, excuse me, oh, I just have to let them out at 11 o'clock on a Sunday. I just let them out. Come on, get out there. Those pigeons there are dumb, road dumb. But if a pigeon goes out open hole every day, he becomes very smart. He listens to stuff. I can have an open hole
The,
pigeon.
the, the
He
only
will not go out until all of a sudden they gone out. Oh, he won't. But you take a pigeon that's not road smart, open hole smart, and let him out at any time, 10 o'clock. Oh, he'll go out. Next thing you know, bang, the hawk's there. That's my experience, okay? I've
yeah,
experienced that.
the only problem is you can leave them open hole and they will learn the times of the hawk and they will get on his schedule and they will beat him. The only problem is the hawk eventually says, if you don't come out, I go in. And I've seen how many times you see hawks inside barns. And the reason why you see the hawk in the barn is because he knows the pigeons are in there and he goes, when are you guys coming out? And they know we're not coming out. And what do they do? What does the hawk end up doing? Goes into the loft, right? Goes into the barn.
You know what, Ryan? You're 100% right. And I was thinking about inventing a tube that would come out from the loft, about a 4 foot or 5 foot tube, about 12 inches round, where it comes out from the loft, and your birds would learn. There would be a little board at the end of it. Your birds would walk through the tube and go out for a fly and land and come in. I don't think the hawk would walk through that tube. Now, I don't think a lot of people in this world have ever experienced this tube. So I'm going to make this tube and I'm going to sell this.
Good job. You make it, and I can't wait. I'm excited.
I
Uh,
think it's a good idea. I don't think a hawk would walk through that tube 4 or 5 feet to get into the loft, but a pigeon would.
yeah, you could be right. Um, Chris says you should make a prize in your one loft race for the tour. Yeah, maybe we'll do that this year. JD Teal says, my best old bird season, I let them have open loft 3 to 4 times out of the week. That's good. Well, the reason why your best old bird season was because most of the guys you were flying with, they parked the birds all winter, and 99% of all pigeon guys that park the birds all winter don't know how to feed them. And even if you do know how to feed them, it don't matter because they're going to get out of shape. And your birds were in shape, so you were basically you smoked them on just natural being in better shape. What most people don't realize is they think about what they think. Guys, go look in the mirrors. Do you think in 4 weeks You can do any type of a marathon? No, you can't. So why do you think you can take your pigeons 4 weeks from the first race, start letting them out, let them out for a week, loft fly, then start training them, and then pop them into races? You're a joke. You need to give them time. They need 12 to 16 weeks to condition. So, and that's so. Listen to what Mr. J.D. Teal did. He left them open all winter. That means they never lost the condition. They maybe come down a little bit, but it was easy to get them back up into condition. But again, that's common sense. Do you ever see professional athletes at this day and age? Do you ever see professional athletes now take 3 months off and go to Aruba and drink and eat and gain 30 pounds? No, you see them take a week off, max. And on that week off, after about day 3, they still go to the gym and they still train because you know what? They don't want to lose an inch. Hold on, JD Teal says this. They had the best nest built I'd ever seen. Sticks the size of my thumbs, 6 to 8 inches. Yeah, that's right. And you know what? When you have them open like that and you don't give them nesting material in the loft, they really got to work because they go out there and they pick up those sticks and twigs and grass and leaves. And you know what? There's a lot of practice and trapping. That's very good.
Let me say something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a pigeon, the start when he takes off, it takes a lot more energy than when he actually flies. And when he stops, it takes a lot of energy. It's like your car. When you start it from a stop, it takes a lot of energy to get the thing moving. Once it's moving, you're up into the second gear, whatever it is, it rolls. Now, if you got to stop the car, it takes a lot of energy to stop that car. You got to put the brakes on, everything's stopping. So when you got those, like you said, JD Till, the pigeon, when he leaves the loft, he's got to power himself. He's got to go. He's got to land in the field, pick up a twig. Now he's got it in his mouth. He's got the energy to pull up the power to come to the loft. Then when he has to stop at the loft to take it in. He has to slow down, stop, put the brakes on. That's harder on a pigeon than actually flying 10 miles, 5 miles. So, but if to build a nest for a pigeon, he's got to pick up a lot of twigs. He's got to go back and forth, and I know I've seen him do it. It's like holy shit, a lot of work. Now, what your best bet is to do once he's 3/4 building that nest, take the damn nest, grab it, throw it out, and let him start again. That pigeon is constantly starting, stopping every twig. And that's a hell of a lot of work. That's performance. He's going to be in condition.
Ricky, don't give them too many tips now. You don't want them to use all these tips. This weekend, I'm going to be going to Germany. I'm going to the Cassell show. I've never been to the Cassell show in Germany, so it's going to be good. I got some people there I got to meet. So I'll be doing a live from Germany on Saturday, probably around 10 or 11 in the morning. I'll go live. So you guys can follow me on that. This week, what else do I got going on? I'm going to go to Guy Vandenauer's tomorrow. I got to select the pigeons for the auction. I've already got 3 selected, but I got to go back. I didn't get that finished. I'm going to try and get an interview with him. That's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'm going to be going over to Joost Goossens to discuss his match pair for the auction that's closing on Wednesday night. So I'll be with Joost Goossen. I'm going to do a little interview with him. You guys will get to see that. You're going to get to participate. I'll do it at his house. So we'll do that. Thursday, I'll be with Anik Gauthier. Do a little interview with her, and she's going to cut my hair. So we're going to look at pigeons while she cuts my hair. She's going to use the same scissors she cut Gabby's with. So as long as I don't turn out like my hair looking like Gabby, I'll be okay. That's what is that? That's Monday, that's Thursday. What are we doing on Friday? Friday. I had something planned on Friday. I'm not, well, I don't know. I don't know. Something happening on Friday. I can't remember now. Shit. But Saturday I'll be in Germany. So that's sort of how the week's going to look. So you're going to get a couple interviews in this week. And I have to do Dirk Leekens. Sorry, Bosmans and Leekens. Wednesday or Thursday I'll be doing Bosmans and Leekens. I think it's going to be a real busy week. Maybe I'll do them on Friday even. I don't know. But we want to discuss the auction birds with them. Both these auctions that are running now, I'll give you guys 100% green lights to buy them. If you can get them, if you can afford to get one, go for it. Those G pigeons, they're fantastic. And Bosmans and Leekens, take a look this year. They had 25 first prizes, 50 including doubles. Just look at the results. But it is what it is. Oh, there's Ernie. Hey, Ernie.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, he's
Mark
only
Mark
what,
Carnwell.
11 years old or 12? He's only 12 years old.
Mark Carnwell. I like the idea of a tour prize. Well, Mark, you had the money to come on the tour. You won it, man. You just had to tell your boss you had to get off work. Come on now. You could have come, Mark. Why did Derek Walsh get out of pigeons? Guys, this is the thing. Why did Derek Walsh get out of pigeons? Why? Is it anyone's business? I know the reason. I spoke with Derek 2 days ago. I called him up and I said, "What's going on?" I said, "I get people ask me, Derek Walsh getting out of pigeons." You know what he said? "I'm done. I'm finished. I did pigeons long enough. The pigeon guys drive me nuts. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm done." That's it. What's his reasons? Does he have a few other reasons that are personal? Yes, but basically it's pigeon men. And I don't disagree with him. Pigeon men, you guys are hard. Will you be seeing the Normans again? Yes, I will be seeing the Normans again. And yes, we are going to do an auction for Nicholas and Philip Norman. We've got a lot of auctions coming up, some new people, okay? And I want you guys to get out of your comfort zone. Yes, there's breeders that we've done for multiple years, and the reason they come back is because the birds are great and they're great to work with and great. That's not going to change, but we bring new people in because I need to give you guys different options, and I believe the new birds we bring in are as good as the original breeders. Anik Gochan is basically one of my original breeders. Someone asked me, well, who would you get birds from to fly? I would get birds from Anik. I get birds from Dirk Leekens. I get birds from every breeder that we represent. Reason being, I've been to their lofts. You have to remember, everybody that I represent, I've been there. And I haven't been there once. I've been there maybe 10 or 15 times to some of these places. Guys, ask Alfred how many times I've been to his place. Ask Anik. Anik, I think I've been to Anik's 10 times. Anik's going to cut my hair, for Christ's sakes. I know these people. I know their pigeons. And the reason I say you can bid in confidence, I hear people, I don't have good luck with Gabby Van Beels. He didn't get real Gabby Van Beels. This woman, she got all of her birds come from 6 eggs. And then she cultivated the family. And this is it. Take a look at her pigeons. Take a look at her results. She wins in the East Flanders. She wins in the West Flanders. She's on the border. She wins. And you know what? I get the carte blanche to go and pick the pigeons out of the loft that we want. Ask Stephen. Ask Jeff. Ask them. They've seen how we select pigeons. Seen how we do it. Yes, sometimes the breeders have a group of birds in a basket and you go through them. Yes, there's times when you go in the loft and you select, but they don't select. We select. We select on what we like. Then we look at the pedigrees, and the pedigrees have to match the quality of the pigeons. And when both those things match, that's when we offer their birds. So, Ricky, what are you thinking? I think we've been on for an hour and a half, and It's
Yeah, I
3:30
think
here in
it's
the
been,
morning.
yeah, very good. Uh, people may say, well, uh, the breeders that we deal with, they're in the heart of European racing pigeon environment, like real stuff. Now, the house that we have there, Ryan, and what's the name of the town again? Belor, Belor,
Balar.
Belar.
Anyone?
Okay, and you've told me you've seen
Yeah.
pigeons loft flying in the morning. The way it is, it's unbelievable. 50 here, 100 here, 150 there, and apparently your neighbor is 100%
Yeah, we're not gonna.
dominating.
Yeah, we're
But
not gonna.
I'm just saying, I'm
We're not.
saying, if they may say, well, who the hell is he? Who the hell is this Ryan telling us this and that? I'm going to tell you 100% the truth. Whoever said that, I hate to
No.
say it to you, boys. Who the hell are you? That's what I'm
Hey,
going to
hey,
say because I
listen,
know this
listen.
guy raised here in Pigeon and then went to Europe. And now he's handled more birds, top pigeons, that you will ever, never in your life handle. Even if you've already been flying here 50 years, 60 years, you ain't never handled this product in your life. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not shooting
And
you the
that's
shit.
and that's why I say to people, and you can ask Jeff right here, Jeff Henderson, guys. He came on the trip and he's seen the difference in the pigeons. Look what he writes. These birds will make you fly 30% at least better. Yes, they will if you put the work in. They will make you fly 30%, 40% better. And I think what it is they will probably beat your own birds. And if you put the work in, you're going to be on top. You'll be up there. If you come on the tours, you will feel, you'll see what I see. And again, I've been seeing it now for what, 5 years coming here. And it's just something that you have to experience. And until you experience it, it's almost something that you can't believe. So if we do another tour, if we want
I
people that
can't
want to,
see in the camera. You're leaning over.
oh,
There
all
you
right.
go.
If we do
Yeah,
another tour, we're gonna do it again. It'll probably be in 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 the same time in November. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm done. I'm tired. So
what I would like to say is I'll say a few words that we're not trying to advertise the tour. I like to
no.
advertise it, brag about it. But if you're a guy like I'm just going to say I'm going to use a guy that's been flying
Okay.
pigeons in this country for 50 years, and you really think you really know it all. You're an expert. You are an expert. You think you are. Go on this tour and just now, when you come back, you're going to say, oh, wow, I thought I was an expert.
Well,
Now I'm that much better. I'm just saying, you know,
mm,
I can smell it when a guy thinks he knows, but he doesn't know. Guess what? Get on the
okay.
plane and go do it, man.
Well,
It's a gorgeous, perfect thing. Even the best guy in Canada, there's no way he can be an authority until he goes on this tour.
well, I think on that note, we're gonna say next Monday we'll be on again at 8 o'clock. Tune in tomorrow. See what I'm going to be doing. Follow me along. And remember, Wednesday night, the match pairs. Eddie Rugen flew 2 years ago in Pattaya. He flew the best of any loft in Pattaya, including Mike Gannis. So, guys, you have a chance there to get a real steal. Check those birds out. Check the Yost Goosen birds. Check the Dirk Leekins, and check Anik Gotia. I will see you guys tomorrow. Ricky, good show. Happy birthday, Mom. And happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Good night, Mike Vanderyak. We'll see you on next Monday at 8 o'clock. Be safe, guys. And Ricky, bye for now.
Have a good night. Take care. Enjoy.